Josh Allen. All right. Speaking of toxic teams, Mark, we've talked about the Cleveland Browns like a little bit. And if you guys have been living under a rock, you know about the Cleveland Browns news, right? The Cleveland Browns have they are what's the word I'm looking for? Hard to keep happy, Mark. They're hard to keep happy. Myles Garrett has requested a trade yesterday, and he wants to play for a contender. Guys, the Cleveland Browns have been nothing but a dumpster fire the last couple of seasons. I understand they made the playoffs last season, and I understand they competed the year before that with Baker Mayfield, yada, yada, yada. But let's just be honest, they're a big burning pile of poo-poo. Mark, how can the Cleveland Browns get right?
My suggestion, they need to just tear it all down. You know, trade Myles Garrett, get the most draft capital you can. And then I read that they can somehow void Deshaun Watson's contract because he re-ruptured his Achilles. He's doing stuff that he wasn't supposed to. So I say try to figure that out, void that out, get rid of him. You know, just tear down to the studs and start over.
So, Mark, you are absolutely right. So by him, meaning Deshaun Watson not wearing his boot, doing that whole TikTok dance, they can void his contract because he wasn't following proper protocols. But when I think about the Cleveland Browns, I think about being a narrow-minded person, right? Seeing directly what is in front you and just keep plowing away. So right now, the Cleveland Browns are keeping their head forward and they're plowing away, Mark. They're plowing away. They are walking through 8 feet of like snow. But if they would happen to look over to the left a little bit, maybe look over to the right like a little bit, they're going to see that, hey, there's already a path plowed for me. I don't need to walk through this 8 feet of snow. I can walk over here, and there's 6 inches of snow. All of a sudden, my path gets a little bit easier. But what does that do? That takes you off of your course for a year, maybe 2. What does that mean? That means let Myles Garrett go somewhere else. There are teams out there that are going to give you 2 first-round picks for Myles Garrett. Yes. Wrap your head around that. There will be teams out there giving you 2 first-round picks for Myles Garrett. He's 29 years old, Mark. The average life expectancy for a defensive player is 31, 32 years old tops. So he only has a couple, maybe 3, 4, 5 years left tops in him, right? When Khalil Mack was traded at his prime at the age of 27, from the Raiders to the Chicago Bears, they got 2 first-round draft picks, 2 second-round draft picks, and a 5th and a 6th-round draft pick for Khalil Mack. Who is better, Myles Garrett or Khalil Mack, Mark?
Myles Garrett.
Myles Garrett. 2 years older. Take those damn 2 first-round draft picks. Maybe get a 3rd or a 4th or whatever, right? Get him out of town and just tear it down. Let the burning pile of poo burn itself out. Stop trying to extinguish it. Let it burn, baby, burn. Let Myles Garrett eat, baby, eat. And maybe in a couple years, you can go out there and draft Arch Manning. Maybe in a couple years, there's going to be another prolific edge rusher come through the draft. But you won't know that until you take a couple steps back. That's what the Browns need to do, Mark. That is the only way they're able to fix this thing. They got to take a couple steps back, look around, evaluate, like, oh, somebody already plowed the snow path for me. Why am I doing all this extra work when I just here we go, bada bing, bada boom, I am here. Do you agree? So I think we're on the same page. Let Myles Garrett go. Hell, I don't care if it's for 1 first-round draft pick and 3 other draft picks. Get something, because next year he's just going to walk away. Deuces. Like, come on,
dude. You can get a haul for him. You can at least get 2 first-rounders for sure.
I saw a mock trade, right, for Myles Garrett to the Miami Dolphins. It was Tua, Tyreek Hill for Myles Garrett. Why would you not make that trade?
That's an interesting one.
Why would you not make that trade? I don't know. So, guys, what do you guys think? Go ahead.
Both their needs.
Yeah. How can the Chicago Bears rebuild? And Laura says a complete rebuild from the ground up. Laura says, you know what? Leave Cleveland again. Move somewhere. Leave town.
Buck, interesting fact for you.
Yep.
Did you know that they call their stadium the Factory of Sadness?
Really? How about this? Did you know this? That the city of Cleveland is suing the Browns because they want to move their stadium to the suburbs and build a dome stadium so a Super Bowl can come into town, but the city of Cleveland don't want them to move from downtown. If I was that owner base in Cleveland, I would get up and move. I would move to Toronto, Mexico City, South Dakota, Iowa, Boise, Idaho. I don't care. Anywhere but Ohio at this particular point. Get up and move. Trade Myles Garrett and start fresh and become purple and baby blue. And call yourselves the Cougars. Alpha Rob says the Browns deserve all of this losing by doing Baker dirty. Facts, Alpha Rob.
I agree with that one.
Facts. Good Lord. Like, how can you let Baker Mayfield lead you to the playoffs, beat the Pittsburgh Steelers for the first time in since 85 in the first round of the playoffs, and like, oh, see ya. Like, what?
Yeah, we want this guy that, have 28 massage therapists that cause sexual assault. Right. Yeah, let's have that guy come in.
Sheesh, it's stupid. Real McCoy says the Browns should have never moved on past Baker. Browns should have been banned from the NFL for life. So let me ask you this, because obviously the Baltimore Ravens were the Cleveland Browns prior. They were not very good then, but then they moved to Baltimore and all of a sudden they're pretty damn good. Is it the city of Cleveland? Is it the name Browns, or is it like what is it, Mark? Like, why do the Cleveland Browns suck so bad?
I always say dysfunctional owners do functional things. And so as long as they have their dysfunctional owner, and I forget the guy's name, Haslam, they're going to be terrible.
I have a lot of friends that are Browns fans, and I feel bad for them. I'm not gonna lie. Alpha Rob says, you think the Browns dump enough trade for Garrett for Von Miller? See, I'm
an old Bronco fan, and that guy is washed up, man.
Yeah, I mean, I was shocked when he signed that 4-year, $100 million deal. Anyone's like, what? That's
and he was
dumb.
stealing that from them,
right? And then he's still beating up pregnant girls as well. But that's besides the point. I'm not for sure if the Browns would even entertain that idea. If I'm the Cleveland Browns, I'm not interested in players. I'm interested in draft picks alone, because right now I'm in cap hell. I owe Deshaun Watson it's like $160 million against the dead cap in the next 2 seasons. So it's something ridiculous, right? Granted, they might be able to get out of it, whatever, but I need draft picks. I need draft picks to be able to build this team now. So the next three years, when I get away from this Deshaun contract, I can pay them and then start the whole rebuild process. So I'm not interested in bringing a 4-year, $100 million washed up defensive end that can't even rush the quarterback versus the Ravens. But just saying. Derek says the Colts were pretty good when they were in Baltimore. They were not too shabby. Mark, you